There's been a lot of buzz recently, and things are hot and we're going to cover it all in detail. But first, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more news. Let's get right to it. The Browns are deep into draft evaluations, and this week, they're focusing on a player who could be Nick Chubb's long-term replacement. That's right. With Chubb still in free agency and recovering from two brutal season-ending injuries, Cleveland is already looking to the future at running back. The latest name on the radar? None other than Ohio State's Quentin Judkins. According to insider Jordan Schultz, the Browns are scheduled to meet with Judkins soon, joining a list of teams like the Cowboys, Bengals, Texans, Broncos, and Giants. And this isn't just some late-round flyer they're thinking about. This is a guy who could be the day-one starter if things go according to plan. Judkins is a physical runner, clocked at a 4.48 in the 40-yard dash, and brings a complete skill set, rushing, receiving, pass blocking. He's a three-down back, plain and simple. Last season with the Buckeyes, he racked up 1,060 yards on 5.5 yards per carry while sharing the backfield with Tre'Veyon Henderson. And before transferring to Ohio State, Judkins put up monster numbers at Ole Miss, 2,725 yards and 31 touchdowns in 2 seasons. That's not just production, that's dominance. He's expected to be one of the first 5 running backs off the board. Now look, we all love Nick Chubb. He's one of the most beloved players in franchise history. But the harsh reality is that 2 serious injuries have changed the calculus. Even if Chubb comes back, you can't depend on him to carry the full load. Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong Jr. are solid options, but they're not scaring any defenses. Adding a guy like Judkins, especially from right down at 71, would fire up the fan base and give this team a young, talented bell cow back to build around. And speaking of young talent, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. The former Colorado quarterback is doing everything in his power to get the Browns' attention, and guess what? He just might be succeeding. Cleveland's front office, including owner Jimmy Haslam, was on hand at Colorado's Pro Day, and Sanders made sure to leave an impression. "All I need is an opportunity. It's simple," Sanders said. "Whatever franchise wants to change their franchise, there is no doubt who to go with. You'd be a fool not to pick me." That's not just confidence, that's swagger. Sanders knows the perception out there. Some folks are saying he's arrogant, but if you listen closely, what he's really saying is that he believes in himself. And if you want to be the face of an NFL franchise, that's exactly the mindset you need. Now, did every throw hit perfectly? No. A few balls were low. But overall, Sanders showed off his arm strength, footwork, and command. He looked like a guy ready to take the leap to the next level. And he didn't shy away from the spotlight either. After the workout, he told reporters he's the best quarterback in the draft, bar none. What's the most important trait of a quarterback? Consistency. Look at the last 4 years, Sanders said. I am the best quarterback in the draft. I check all boxes. I am the one guy. I'm a Sanders, they came for me. His father, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, echoed that belief. He's been bred for this. He's a darn Sanders. If there is anybody built for this moment, built to go to a team that's really not good and take it to the next level, it's him. Say what you will about the hype, but Shedeur brings leadership, moxie, and undeniable production. If the Browns are serious about addressing their quarterback future, he's a name that can't be ignored. And with Deshaun Watson's future still uncertain and Kenny Pickett as the only healthy QB under contract, it's not crazy to think Cleveland might pull the trigger. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Word is, Cleveland is still high on Penn State's edge rusher Abdul Carter. The Browns have done their homework across the board, meeting with top QB prospects like Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, and Jalen Milroe, and even hosting Carter and his family for a private dinner. So the question becomes, what direction will they go? Do they roll the dice on Sanders, grab a playmaker like Travis Hunter, or lock down a defensive cornerstone in Carter? Or do they shake things up and draft Judkins earlier than expected, signaling a new era in the backfield? There's just under 3 weeks until the NFL draft, and the anticipation is building. The Browns have options. Big ones. Franchise-altering ones. And every move they make now, from pro days to private dinners, is a clue to what the future might hold. So here's where I want to hear from you, Dawg Pound. Is Quentin Judkins the right guy to lead our running back room? Should the Browns go all in on Shedeur Sanders and hand him the keys to the offense? Or is Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter the smarter play? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, we all know that the Browns quarterback room has been a revolving door for years. And just when we thought there might be some light at the end of the tunnel, it looks like the front office may have overreacted again. We're less than 3 weeks away from the 2025 NFL Draft, and while the Browns are actively pursuing top talent, including Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and Jalen Milroe, they've already made a big move this offseason by trading for Kenny Pickett. Now look, some of you were cautiously optimistic when the Browns picked up Pickett from the Eagles. The guy's still just 26, a former first-rounder, and maybe a change of scenery helps him turn the page, right? But here's the issue. The timing and value of that trade just got thrown under the microscope, and it doesn't look great. While Cleveland was sending off Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a fifth-round pick to Philadelphia for Pickett, the Dallas Cowboys made a much quieter, potentially smarter move. On Thursday, the Cowboys traded a 2025 fifth-round pick to New England for quarterback Joe Milton III and got a seventh-round pick back in return. That's right, Dallas gave up less and may have gotten more. Now, let's break this down, because the comparison is kind of brutal. Kenny Pickett hasn't exactly lit the league on fire since entering the NFL. In 2024 with the Eagles, he saw limited action, just 134 snaps. During that time, he threw for 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had an 86.5 passer rating while completing just under 60% of his passes. That's not terrible, but it's definitely not QB1 material, especially when you consider his entire career hasn't exactly shown signs of progression. On the flip side, Joe Milton. This guy's only had one real shot to start, Week 18 against the Buffalo Bills. What did he do? Oh, nothing major, just completed 75.9% of his passes for 241 yards, a touchdown, and posted a 111.4 passer rating. Pro Football Focus gave him a 95.8 offensive grade that week, the highest of any quarterback in the league. And yet, Dallas only gave up a fifth-rounder and got an extra pick back. Meanwhile, the Browns not only gave up a higher pick than Dallas, they also included a young quarterback with potential in DTR. So here's the million-dollar question. Did the Browns get fleeced? Did we just watch Andrew Berry overpay for a quarterback who might not even be a long-term backup, while Dallas swooped in and stole a high-upside guy for pennies on the dollar? Now, don't get me wrong. There's still time. The regular season is months away, and both quarterbacks have plenty to prove. Maybe Pickett finds his rhythm in Cleveland. Maybe the offense clicks. Maybe the coaching staff sees something they believe they can fix. But on paper, this move just doesn't feel like a win. Especially when compared side by side with what Dallas just pulled off. And look, we know Deshaun Watson's health is still a giant question mark. Nobody's saying Pickett is the future, but the hope was he could at least offer stability. After this latest trade, though, a lot of fans are starting to wonder if we just got the short end of the stick again in our never-ending quarterback saga. So, Browns fans, I've got to hear from you. Do you think Kenny Pickett can prove the doubters wrong? Was the Browns trade a necessary risk, or do you wish they had waited and gone after someone like Joe Milton instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is your team, and your voice matters. And before you go, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to stay locked in on all things Cleveland Browns. We've got the draft coming, pro days wrapping up, and rumors flying, so don't miss a thing. Until next time, Dawg Pound, stay loud, stay loyal, and as always, go Browns!